Okay, part 9 of the Fragger video. Can I keep going? Right, I'm not going to get up in the morning to this, so I'm going to try and do this now before my brain totally implodes. Right, we're going to set the keys for each tank. Now, let's have a look at play game and show level where we create our players. Okay, right, we have a loop, and to set the tank colour we use an array. Okay, to set the tank position we use an array, the actor start array that we set with the level data. So to set the keys we're going to need an array, but there's more than one key. We need a key for left, right, forward, backwards and shoot. So really that's going to be an array of keys, but we need an array to hold the array of keys. So this isn't a two-dimensional array, this is what we call an array of an array, just to make it confusing. But it has a nice little format that's quite easy to follow. Okay, so we're going to try and create this. So I'm going to create this at the top of play game underneath my tank list. So this is going to be an array of keys, an array holding an array of keys. Okay, and it looks like this, so just bear with. So play keys. Okay, so that says the type of data that's going in the array, and something that's very important in the second year is that you understand that an array has one type of data. Okay, so it's keys is the data type, but we have got an array which is going to contain an array. That's what the two sets of separate square brackets. Note that is different to a 2D array which looks like that. Okay, with a comma to say there are two indexes. This is different. I'm calling it play keys, and I'm going to set them. So this is a little bit like we did when we did the level data. Right, the way we set each array of keys is we use the keyword new and we say new keys, and this is an array, and we set them. So we're going to say keys dot, right, so this is going to be up to you to decide, but I'm just going to set up W, so it's the forward key. Let's do the reverse key. So I'm going to do WS, rotate left, oops, it's going to be A, and then D is going to be on our rotate. Yeah. My shoot key, God, looking at that part of the keyboard, I'm going to use Q. These are the keys. I'm just setting these. I don't care because I'm not going to play the game like this. Later on, I'm going to show you how to use game pads, so you can use Xbox pads to control it, which is a lot more sensible, obviously. So you could have people on the keys, some on the controllers. But for now, we're going to stick with this. So I put a comma at the end to say there is another list coming. Okay, I'm going to copy that line and paste it 3 times. Now that's set up 4 arrays with keys in each. Now they're all the same key at the minute, so I'm going to set player 2. It's picked. You're going to have to crowd around the keyboard to do this. Well, for the player at the bottom, I'm going to use Z and X. Right, so I'm going to use. It's only for testing, so I don't really care. Right, I'm going to do forward and back is going to be H and B. So H and B, and left and right is going to be Z and X. Oh, it's like playing on the old computers. Z and X. And my shoot key, so HB is going to be space, I think. Keys dot space. Okay, player 3's keys are going to be similar to that, but over the other side of the keyboard. They're going to be right, the at symbol. Now that's going to be what they call an OEM, and it's going to be it's the apostrophe, isn't it? Gold. OEM. So the OEM keys, I never know what the blooming heck they are. I think that's double quotes. So it's not. Oh god, let's try and. I'm gonna use. Can I use tilde? Yeah, I'm gonna use the. Colon. Where's colon? Right, I'm going to use semicolon for forward. So that's OEM semicolon. Like I say, you're at liberty to change them for whatever you want. Underneath semicolon is the dot. So is that going to be period? Americans. Dot. Right, so for left, if I got my fingers on that and dot, I'm going to use M for left, and I'm going to use less than. Oh god, that might be comma. OEM comma. Hopefully, and shoot. Oh dear, what we're going to use for shoot? Left shift. Yeah, right control might be better. Well, it depends. I'm using my laptop keyboard. They're a bit weirder to normal AT keyboards. I'm going to use right control. Right, and the final set of keys are going to be my numeric keypad keys. So forward is going to be numpad 8. Back is going to be numpad 2. Notice how I deleted the dot and pressed the dot to get the picker to come up. Left is going to be numpad 4, so delete the dot, numpad 4. Right is going to be numpad 6. Shouldn't have had to look at the keyboard there, a bit tragic. And for shoot, I'm going to use numpad 0. That'll actually sit nice with the old thumb bow, I think. Okay, so that sets some stupid keys up. It gets worse as it goes on. Up to you to decide. I'm sure you've got brains that are capable of working out a set of keys that spreads everyone around. The fact that we've got cheap keyboards and they won't work very well when you start having loads of keys pressed, that's a bigger problem. Okay, right, so just to illustrate that we can set the keys up. Now, that array of keys we need to bring into show level. Okay, so we've got create tank and we've got the start position. So let's create another subroutine to set keys. And we're going to give to this subroutine the array list of keys that we want. Okay, so I've forgotten what I've just called that. What have I just called that? Play keys. So we're going to say for the first player, pass as a parameter play keys. I need to make it static again. Let's put static in front of that. So play keys, there it is. I. So that says, put a semicolon. That doesn't exist yet, so we've got to create that. But let's just have a look, see what that is. So play keys 1 means this list, this array of keys. Play kist. Right, that no. Sorry, I'm being stupid. Play keys no. I can't even say it, so I'm tired. Play keys 1 is that array. Play keys 2 is that array. So we're passing to this subroutine an array of keys. So let's right click on this and say generate method stub, and that will in tank create that subroutine for us and set the parameter up. So let's go to it. So right click over it, over set keys, and say go to definition, and look, it's created the parameter and it's said, oh, the parameter is an array of keys. I think that's quite clever. Okay, that it can do that for us. Now we need to now just set up all those keys from this array we've been given. So we're going to say forward, which was the first key, equals keys 0. Reverse, remember we had, if we just go to forward, we could hover over forward, it says keys. Alright, so it's a type keys, so it can store a key. Reverse equals keys 1. Was it left was the next one? Make sure you do this right, otherwise you'll end up controlling your tank weird. The third position in the array was the left key. The fourth position in the array is the right key, and I think we called it fire. Fire, just check, yeah, that's a key, equals keys 4. Okay, remember the first item is always at position 0, the start of an array. That, 3 things you've added to set up different keys for every player. Let's check that works. So F5 it. The shortest video I've done so far. This one. What a record. Right, put it in play mode. So I had for player 1 W S A D. For player 2 I think I did have B H Z and X. Ooh. It's working. Right, let's add more players. F1. Start the game again. For the green player, player 3, I went for colon to forward, period for back, and I think it was M was rotate left, and comma was rotate right. And for the, I have to turn numlock on. That's the one that probably came up on screen. 2 was reverse, 4 was left, on the numeric keypad 6 and 8 was forward. So I can actually independently operate tanks and they can go off screen. Hee. Oh, that's a test. Anyone who can control all 4 tanks on the keyboard on their own, they're a genius. See, and there goes the blue tank. Oh, he's come on the bottom of the screen. Right, we're getting there. The next thing we need to do in another video, not this one, because that's it, I've had me fill tonight. We're going to get that shooting key working, earning its crust by creating a bullet sprite. Okay. And the first thing we'll do is we'll set up tile collisions for the bullet so that the soft walls can be destroyed by the bullets, and that the bouncy walls, that was wall type 1, the bouncy walls will reflect the bullets. Okay, and once we've got that going, you'll need to play a little bit about with some of the values. So if we look back at the tank values, it's going back into tank, we've got the speeds. Okay, but we're going to need to add bullet speeds, and we're also going to need to add a value that tells us how long the bullets, how many seconds the bullets are allowed to live for. Okay, because otherwise the bullets will keep going forever. A bit like the packet switching, when we said eventually packets have to die, otherwise they'll just clog everything up. But we'll play about with that, and if we keep it all in variables like we've done with the speeds, we can change them quite easily. Okay. Yeah, I think we're getting on quite good. And then we'll have to do the tricky collision detection between sprites, because we want to check bullets can blow up tanks. And then we'll have to worry about killing a tank, and can we control a tank that's not on screen? No, we can't. So we need to put some extra little bits of code in to do all that. Okay, but at this moment in time, we've actually got a nice little demo going. And you can test your levels out now. If you get someone else to help you play your game at any time. So we can see that we've got one of the best levels that's ever been designed in a game right in front of us here. You know, I mean, it's legendary. But I'm sure you can come up with something a little bit better than, oh look, I can wrap from one side of the tank map to the other. Okay? Yep, I'll leave it there. I'm rambling a bit, aren't I? Yeah, that's what I do.